Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shonda, and today we are going to get into how to have your summer glow up for 2025. So if you are ready to finally get the summer glow up or the glow up in general that you have been waiting for your whole life, make sure you stick around because I have some powerful tips that are going to help you transform from feeling stuck and invisible to fierce and unstoppable. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 6 months left in 2025, and it is not too late for you to glow up. In fact, it is the perfect time to start your glow up journey because we still have 6 months left. So if you can look at the glass half empty or half full, you may as well look at it as half full, and that's what we have left for this year. If you don't believe that you can change your life in as little as 6 months, just take me as an example. When I started creating content 3 years ago, my whole life changed in literally 6 months because I started being consistent. I saw what I wanted and I went after it. And here we are 3 years later. I have a full-time business as a content creator. I just bought my dream car, which I'm super excited about. And I'm really living the life that I dreamed of when I was stuck in a 9-to-5 that I was really wanting to just get out of so I could have the time freedom to be able to spend time with my family as I wanted to travel as I wanted to just be able to take my son to his football practice whenever I needed to. And if you feel like you are stuck in that place where you just want to get out of your career, or you just feel like you're meant for something more, or you just want to be doing something different with your life, and you are ready to have a summer glow up internally and externally, then girl, I have the techniques and formula for you that is going to change your life. I literally looked back over the last 3 years and just really dialed in to figure out what specific steps did I take to go from feeling invisible, low self-esteem, stuck in a job, to now feeling super confident, losing 70 pounds, and again, living the life that I have dreamed of for so many years. And I broke down those specific steps into 6 steps, a method that I came up with that I'm about to share with you, and I cannot wait because you are going to love it. I call it the Become method, and each letter of the word Become stands for a specific step in your glow up journey that is going to take you from where you want to be to actually becoming that version. And again, it will take time, but you can start today to be able to start making that transformation so that you get closer to your goals. So step number 1 in the Become method is to build the blueprint. Sis, I need you to get so clear, crystal clear on exactly what it is that you want, who it is that you want to become. What does your life look like when it becomes the life that you have dreamed of? What time do you wake up? What do you do when you start your day? How do you do your morning routine? What job do you have? Or what career or business do you envision yourself having? What lifestyle are you living? Are you healthy? Are you going to the gym? Are you taking vacations all the time? Are you going out to dinner and brunch? Do you have the relationship that you dream of? What does your home look like that you live in? What car do you drive? Literally get so detailed and dialed in onto specifically what it is that you want to see in your future and write it down. You have to build the blueprint. If you can't see the vision of who you want to become and where you're going, you really can't get there, because once you see and really dial in on the specifics of what it is that you want to become, now you have the blueprint of where you need to go, so you can figure out, okay, this is where I want to go. Now you can reverse engineer what you need to do to get there. And since we're specifically talking about your summer glow up, what do you want your summer to look like? A lot of times we want to have a summer glow up, but we don't even know what that looks like. So what does that mean for you? Let's start there. What does your dream summer look like? Even though we are already at the beginning of the summer, sis, we still got some time for you to be able to live out your best summer ever. So really dial in full detail specifically what you want your summer to look like. And again, it's not too late. You may have to hustle a little bit depending on what those things look like. But even if it's not a dream vacation or something major, what does your day-to-day look like? I promise you, if you just change your daily activities, your daily routines, your daily habits, even those small changes will not only help you have a good summer, but also help prepare you to becoming the best version of yourself and embracing and embodying having that dream life that you have been dreaming of for so long as well. And that takes me right into the next step of the Become method, which is to elevate your daily habits. Hence why I fully believe that envisioning what you want to achieve for the summer, but also for the next 6 months is going to be so crucial, because once you see that, like I said, you can reverse engineer and then start to see what do you need to do on a daily basis. So you need to elevate your daily habits. Right now, you're doing the same thing day in, day out, and you're still getting the same results. And if those results are not results that you are happy with, that means that you might need to be changing those daily habits that you are doing day in and day out. So what can you change? Maybe instead of hitting the snooze button, or as I heard somebody call, the dream killer button, which from that point on, I don't even touch a snooze button. Honestly, I wake up around 6 o'clock in the morning and I don't even use an alarm clock anymore, because I have gotten my nighttime routine dialed in to where I go to sleep at a certain time every night. Make sure I get enough sleep. I also take magnesium, which helps me get the best sleep that I ever have. And then I wake up feeling more refreshed around 6 o'clock without having to even use an alarm, much less the snooze, aka dream killer button. And not only is it that maybe you don't want to use the snooze button, but if you struggle with that, think about it like this. You hitting the snooze button, it's like you taking a nap. And you ain't even done anything yet. Like, you haven't even started your day, and yet you already taking a nap. Get your butt up. Seriously, little things like that could be the small changes that you can stack one on top of the other. So since you are now going to stop hitting the dream killer button, once you get up, now what do? Of course, you're going to do your typical routine, but can you add in a little movement? Even if it's not fully going into the gym, if that's not what your current routine is, maybe you can do a little bit extra stretching. Or you can do a little bit of a 5-minute little, exercise just to kind of get your joints and get things moving. What extra little things can you add into your morning routine that becomes a habit? Which takes a little while to do, but if you keep repeating it day in and day out, eventually you will have that habit. So what little things can you tweak in your morning? What little things can you tweak in your work day when you get to work? How can you start your day? So maybe right now you start your day with having a little, chit chat about gossip or whatever the case may be around the coffee machine, or, just go in and not really start off really working. Maybe to start your day, you could use a daily planner and actually write out what you're going to do for that day. What is your plan of action for your work day? And that way you start your day off with a daily to-do list versus having everything pull you and distract you every time it comes up, whether it's an email, whether it's someone coming up. Like, what are your daily rich activities that you need to do in order to move you forward and closer to achieving your goals, whether that's excelling in your career, especially if you want to maybe be promoted or earn more money. I will say for me, this was a big thing that I did when I was still selling cars, which was what I did before I started as a content creator. And I wanted to focus on the goal of achieving the goal of making my first 6 figures. And so I literally changed the way I dressed. I went into work, started my day with a full actual planner. None of the other salespeople were doing this, but I literally started my day. I had my own nice planner. It was leather, and it made me feel powerful. And I would literally start with writing down who I needed to follow up with, who I needed to call, how many sales I wanted to get, where I was for the month. I literally planned my day around that. And then as the day went on, I would check things off the list. I would check in with myself. And at the end of the day, I would look back to see how I achieved, my goals for that day. And when I tell you, doing that really changed not only my mindset, but I think was one of the things that led to me making my first 6 figures ever. in selling cars, which was something I didn't have as much experience in, but I was able to do that. So I highly encourage you to be intentional with your day. Make sure that you have a plan for your day and you execute on your plan so you can look at it at the end of the day and realize that you did achieve, or at least attempt to achieve, what you were going for. And not only that, it will build your confidence. Your confidence comes from doing the things that you said you will do and reaffirming to yourself that you stick to doing the things that you said you're going to do. Not only that, but it also comes from doing the things that you're afraid of doing, taking a risk, jumping out there and realizing that it's okay. Even though it may seem scary before you try it, when you do it, or it may seem hard before you try it, but then you go and do it and you realize that you were stronger or more capable than you realized and you survived it, so you can do it again and again and again, and you build your confidence, and then next thing you know, you feel so much more confident. So definitely look at elevating your daily habits. What can you do to change your habits today to be able to build towards having the best summer ever, but also to be able to take advantage of having an incredible next 6 months of your life? Which leads me to the third step of the Become method, which is to curate your confidence. So we were just talking about confidence, and yes, your confidence does come from the actions that you take, that you reaffirm to yourself that you are capable of doing more than you thought, but also it comes from how you dress as well as how you carry yourself. So in order to curate your confidence, one of the things I want you to focus on doing this summer is to look at what your wardrobe looks like. How are you going to dress to feel like the best version of yourself this summer? How are you going to dress to be able to embody the future version of yourself that you see? Like, what does she look like? How does she dress? And what can you do to change? Maybe it's some little changes, but what little changes can you do in order to start to dress like her now? The other thing I recommend you do is to have a signature scent. Not just one scent, maybe you can have several signature scents. What signature scent does she wear to exercise and work out? So every time you spray that scent, it puts you into the mood or in that mode of being that healthy, fit version of yourself. It's just that little reminder. What scent or fragrance does she wear when she's about to go kill it in a meeting, when she's about to boss up and really like be firm and powerful in her position, whether you are customer service agent or an HR director or just a CEO, have your own business. What perfume or fragrances does she wear that you can currently wear to make you feel like that powerful version of yourself? And then also make sure that you look at what to wear as far as your actual clothing. So what is her signature style? Is it classy? Is it colorful? Does she have a specific signature item that she wears that's a statement, whether it's statement glasses, or maybe she wears like vibrant, colorful, tops or clothes. Maybe she wears patterns. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's a neutral baddie. Like, what does she look like? Really dial down those specific things and try to start incorporating those into your daily attire. So again, maybe you might not have the most expensive version of the perfume, but you can find maybe a dupe that's more affordable. Zara has some really great dupes. So if you find a specific perfume like Baccarat or something, you can find a dupe of that, probably like Zara or some different places. Girl, believe me, TikTok will tell you, okay? But again, what little things can you do to start incorporating those into who you are and what you do right now? Okay, number 4 in my Become method is optimize your opportunities. Girl, you can't have the best summer ever or the best next 6 months of your life while you just sitting in the house every day. I promise you, the life that you're looking for is more than likely outside of your 4 walls or however many walls you have in your house. Look for the opportunities to say yes that could lead you closer to the things that you want. I call my rich-tivities my priorities. And for me, what rich-tivities are the things that are going to help bring me closer to having more wealth, more health, or better relationships. If it doesn't fall into one of those categories, I'm not going to put it at the top of my priority list as much as I would when it comes to opportunities that are going to help me get closer to my goals in the area of wealth, in the area of health, and in the area of my relationships. So maybe that might be going to brunch. Maybe that might be putting together a little dinner. Or maybe that might be putting together a little dinner. Maybe that's saying yes to a networking opportunity. Normally you might say no whenever your coworkers want to get out after the workday is over. You'll normally pass on that opportunity. Maybe it's time for you to say yes, because take it from me, you won't believe the amount of opportunities that might come from connecting with the people that annoy you the most in your job. But sometimes those connections, when you connect outside of work, can help you within your role of working in whatever your office or your opportunity, your position is. One example I can say from personal experience is when I was in car sales, I was usually the only female, much less the only woman of color, but I was typically the only female when I sold cars. And so that could be a little bit intimidating, but I focused more on making sure that I had great relationships with the guys that I worked with, because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't skipped on opportunities because of me being the only female. Of course, it wasn't just awkward for me being the only female, it was awkward for the guys who also worked with me. So I needed to make sure that they understood, yes, I'm cool. I'm just like you. I'm out to go ahead and, try to get the best earnings that I possibly could, and let them see me in a light where they felt more comfortable coming to me. If they needed to split a car deal, of course, they would come to me and say, because they knew I was just as hungry as they were to get, my commissions and sales up, but also they trusted me because they knew me and they knew I would take good care of their customers. Sometimes you need to make sure that the people around you in your workplace know what type of person you are, so they can know that you're the person that they may need to come to whenever they need something, and you never know what that might lead to. So definitely look at optimizing your opportunities. Look for different ways that you can be able to network with others. I heard it said once and it stuck with me forever. Your net worth a lot of times is aligned with your network. And as much as I am one of the biggest introverts that you might have ever known, and even though it may not seem like it, people tell me that all the time, believe me, I am an introvert at heart, but I have had to learn how to grow out of that, because I had to realize that if I want to get to the bag, guess where the bag is not? The bag is not in my house. The bag is in other people's pockets, other people's bank accounts. And so how do I get that? By showing up and showing them that I can bring value to them that they should pay me for. And that is how you get your money up. That is how you grow in business. That is how you grow in your career. Even if you do have just a regular job and you don't want to have to be a business owner, you don't have to. But again, the value, you have to show other people what value you have so they can know that they should pay you for that. And if they're not paying you for your value, then you should, one, make sure they're aware of it. But even if they are and they still don't want to pay you for it, then go somewhere that will. That's all I can say. Which leads me to number 5 in my Become method of having your summer glow up and glowing up over the next 6 months of this year, which is monetize your magic. So now that you have shown up, you built yourself up from being, just a little shell of yourself to being more confident and showing up and feeling like that girl, because now you dress like her, now you smell like her, now you act like her, and you network like her. It is time for you to monetize your magic. So what do I mean by monetize your magic? You have value. You have been through things. If you have lived for any amount of time, you have more than likely gone through some struggles, had to learn something. be able to be good at something that other people may not be good at. And so whatever those things are for you, I promise you, there is someone else who would love to know what you have learned and be able to take the shortcut of learning it by you teaching it to them. Not only that, maybe you have something else to offer. Maybe it's a product or an idea. Whatever it is, make sure you look at different ways that you can monetize your magic. I know for me personally, I've been through some stuff. Let's just say that. And 5 years ago, 10 years, 15 years ago, you would never have been able to convince me that I would be living the life that I live now 15 years ago, when I was struggling and when I was broke as a joke, as a single mom of 4 kids going through a divorce, a nasty, nasty, bitter divorce, and having to figure out how I was going to take care of 4 kids all on my own, having to struggle to barely pay the rent, barely making $40,000 a year, taking care of 4 kids that were young and, again, married at a young age, just having a completely different life, barely being able to buy a $3,000 car that I had to make payments on. And it was the ugliest, like, pea green old car, but that was a good car. And it got me back and forth where I needed to go. But it was hard. And I just say that to say, if you are currently at a place where life is hard and you are struggling and you just don't know how you're going to make it, just know that there is a light on the other side of the tunnel. And right now you might be in a dark place, but girl, please just know that there is a light on the other side, and it won't always be like that. And I used to remind myself of that all the time when I was going through it, when I was depressed because I just didn't think that I could get out of the marriage that I was in and didn't know how I was going to be able to survive if I did, because how was I going to take care of 4 kids all by myself? And again, those things that I went through, guess what? Now I can share my testimony. I can share my journey and monetize my magic, because that is part of my magic. That is part of my story. And not only is it that I can tell someone, yes, this is where I was and this is where I am now. And don't get me wrong, life isn't all like perfect for me. It is still challenging. I still have things that I'm working on and, things like that. But looking back where I came from to where I am now, it's time for me to give back and share that with other people so that you can also be able to know how to get from point A to point B and go from, struggling to being just as magnetic and having this manifesting the life that you deserve, that you absolutely deserve and I know you want. So monetize your magic. What is that thing that you have been through, that you have learned from, that you can help other people go through and learn from? And also, like for me personally, I'm a huge nerd. And so I literally love learning. I am obsessed with learning. And so I'm always trying to learn something new. And while I'm learning, I'm always trying to teach everyone around me. But now I'm at a point where I'm ready to start showing and teaching that and sharing that online, more so than just fashion. Like, I love fashion, don't get me wrong, and I will continue to share that. But I feel like there's so much more. There's a deeper, level and deeper thing that people want when they see influencers that are showing up trying to show different outfits or makeup or things like that. What at the end of the day, I had to think, well, what do people really want? Yeah, I know you want outfit ideas and I know you want quick tips, but most of us really want to change in our life. We really want to be confident. We really want to make more money. We want to be more magnetic. We want to have the life that we dream of and that we deserve. And that's what I want to also be able to share. So that's how I'm monetizing my magic. So what ways can you monetize your magic? What is that magic that you know you have, that gift that you either were given naturally, talented, or that you have learned through trial and error, through skills that you have achieved through your job? What is that? What does that look like that you can share with other people? And how can you be able to monetize that? And that leads me to the 6th step of my Become method, which is to embody her every day. So now that we have come up with a vision of what she looks like, what she does, we've started acting as her through what we wear, through how we present ourselves, through the opportunities that we look out for and we take advantage of, and through monetizing our magic. Now it's time to be that girl every day, as much as you possibly can. Believe me, I know personally, there are some days that you just won't feel like it, and I get it. But you want to try to embody her as many days as you possibly can, because the more you embody her, the more you get comfortable with her, the more you let your brain, your mind know that this is safe for you to be her, the more your mind will start to look out for different ways for you to be able to embody her even more. Next thing you know, you'll start having opportunities come to you because the universe will start to move around. God will shift some things around for you. Next thing you know, something that you could have never imagined before being possible for you is a part of your daily life. So start to embody her every single day. Make sure that you, when you wake up, again, what are those little daily habits that she does that puts you into that place of being her? When I started my weight loss journey before I lost 70 pounds, for me, that looked like getting up and going to the gym, because personally I know two things. I like going to the gym, and I know I needed to go in the morning before I started my day and talk myself out of it, because I'm not the person that goes to the gym at night, because by the end of the day I am tired and I just don't have enough motivation to convince myself to go work out at night. But I can do it in the mornings, and that was something that I knew was what my best self looked like and how I would glow up for the summer. And again, this is me giving you experience from last summer, from my summer glow up of last year. When I started in 2024, I was 250 pounds. And yes, I had reached the place of being confident and happy in my skin, but I knew I could be better as far as like just moving better and not having as much pain, and, you know, just improving my health numbers, even though they weren't bad. But I wanted to just be the best version of myself physically, as far as being strong, as far as, you know, being able to breathe easier and all these different things. And so I committed in the beginning of last year that I was going to commit to the daily habits that the best version of myself already would do, and start doing them then. And by the time July came around, I had already lost, I believe, like 50 pounds. And I felt so much better. And I'm still on my wellness and weight loss journey. I'm not at my final weight goal, but I'm so much better than I was as far as mentally, physically. The confidence I have, it doesn't come from looking different. It comes from knowing that I can show up for myself every single day, and I can believe and trust that what I say I'm going to do, that I actually do it, and that I am capable of so much more than I realize. And that I know that anytime I feel like I can't do something, every day I show up in the gym and I do something that I didn't think that I could do, and I push through the workout, it's just another reminder to myself that yes, I can. I can do something that I didn't think that I could do before. And so that's just proof to you, again, from 6 months of last year and even the next 6 months. Right now, like I said, I'm 70 pounds down, and I still work out every day, and I still, you know, am showing up for myself and doing little things each day that I can do to embody the next version of myself. So what does that look like for you? Let me know if this was helpful, and if you are interested in getting more details and having like a full like journal and workbook that really lays out my Become method to glowing up, then make sure you look in the description, because I will be linking my full journal that gives you the full method, as well as a 30-day challenge with daily tasks and daily steps and things that you can do every single day to help take you through the process. So make sure you check that out in the description box. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. And share this with a friend if you feel like somebody that you know could really benefit from using this information. And until the next time, I'll see you in the next video.